Year 5, back with the Jamie Drake equation, and this will be Chapter 9. I sit on the low brick wall staring at my mobile. On the playground, most of the boys in my class are staging a rerun of last night's Champions League match. Usually, I'll be right there in the middle of the action, but I can't stop watching this spinning spiral in the centre of my home screen. It looks even larger than before, its golden curve growing wider as the spiral unwinds. I think it's trying to take over my phone. My dad says that when something goes wrong in space, you need to work the problem. This means breaking a situation down step by step in order to find the right answer. Astronauts need to think about all the possibilities to help them to identify the correct solution. It could mean the difference between life and death. If I want to find out what this weird spiral is, that's what I need to do now. I've got to work the problem. First step is to think about when it first showed up on my phone. It was only after I got back from the observatory that the buzzing started. This must mean I downloaded it when I connected my mobile to Professor Forster's laptop. The next step is to think about what it is. The most logical answer is some kind of computer virus. This fits with some of the weird stuff my phone has been doing. The annoying buzzing sound, the way my calculator went screwy and started spitting out all those random numbers. A computer virus could do all those things, right? But then I think about the other strange things that have been happening. The way my fingertip lit up like a torch when I touched the spiral for the first time, and how time seemed to disappear during that maths test. 1 minute I was writing out my own equation, the next the bell is ringing for break and my desk is covered with scrawled pieces of paper, each page filled with letters and numbers that look like Egyptian hieroglyphics. In my head I can picture the pop-up message that appeared on Professor Forster's laptop when I plugged my phone in. It said there was an incoming transmission from the Hubble Space Telescope. On the screen, the golden spiral is still spinning, the phone silently vibrating in my hand. A crazy thought jumps to the front of my brain. What if I downloaded this from outer space? Professor Forster says she was using the Hubble telescope to search for signs of extraterrestrial life. What if this spinning spiral is the signal she is searching for? The shape of the girl-sized shadow falls across me to interrupt this crazy train of thought. How come you were acting so weird in class, Minty says, as I look up to see her silhouetted in the sun. 1 second you're trying to cheat and then the next look like you were writing out the most crazy sum in the world. I don't know what to say, so I just shrug my shoulders. Minty sits down on the wall next to me. As if annoyed by Minty's presence, my mobile gives an angry buzz. Text from your dad, Minty asks. I glance down at my phone. In the centre of the screen, the golden spiral is slowly revolving. I shake my head. It's just this stupid phone, I say, shoving Minty my mobile. It keeps on buzzing for no reason at all. No wonder, Minty laughs. I mean, your phone is seriously ancient. It's not that, I reply, bristling slightly. It's just... A football thuds into the wall next to us, missing Minty's leg by a centimetre or two. Oi, she shouts out angrily. Do I look like a goalpost? Then with a flick of her hair, Minty turns attention back to me. Do you miss him? Who, I say, slightly distracted by a strange tingling sensation I can now feel in my fingers. Your dad. Stuffing the phone in my pocket to try and escape its vibrations, I nod my head in reply. Yeah, of course I do. I mean, I get to chat to him most nights and I can see him on the TV and stuff, but it's not the same as having him here. Minty sniffs. I know, she says, it's the same for me. Feeling puzzled, I shoot Minty a questioning look. What do you mean? When your dad was on TV? He was on Crime Watch, Minty replies, although it wasn't really him. My dad's an astronaut. Minty's is a bank robber. Space hero. Career criminal. It's not the same at all. I'm just trying to think of the best way to tell her this when Minty asks me another question. When's your dad coming home? He lands back on Earth in 9 days' time, I say. Then he'll have a ton of medical tests and press conferences to do, but I hope he'll be home pretty soon after that. Minty sniffs again. My dad doesn't get to come home for another 10 years. I might have left home by the time that happens. The football thuds against the wall again, but this time Minty doesn't say a thing. I imagine Dad being stuck in space for another 10 years. On the ISS, he travels all the way around the world every 92 minutes. 1 minute he's over Great Britain, the next he's racing across the Atlantic Ocean. When we speak on the phone, Dad sometimes tells me he can see through the cupola window, deserts and lakes, cities and mountains, the landscape changing constantly as day turns to night and back again in the space of an hour. He makes it all sound so amazing, but the only sight I really want to see is Dad. And Minty has to wait 10 years for hers. I don't know what to say, so decide to change the subject. Minty, do you really believe in aliens? Uh-huh, she sniffs, wiping her face with the sleeve of her jumper. The evidence is irrepressible. And do you think they might be sending us messages? All the time, Minty replies. I feel the phone vibrate in my pocket, the strange tingling sensation now creeping up the back of my neck. And these messages, I say, raising my voice as the buzzing sound from my pocket grows louder. Do you think the aliens could send them to a mobile phone? Minty laughs out loud. Don't be stupid, she says. The roaming charges would be massive. The school bell rings across the playground. Come on, Minty says, jumping to her feet. Let's find out what our next stupid space challenge is. That's the end of chapter 9. Bye.
Okay, Year 5, so you've just heard chapter 9 of the Jamie Drake equation, and it ended like this. Come on, Minty says, jumping to her feet. Let's find out what our next stupid space challenge is. So your challenge is to come up with your own space challenge. So they're going back into class to see what Mrs. Solomon is setting for them. But I want you to come up with your own English writing space challenge. So you can choose what you want to write about, as long as it's around space, maybe something around Jamie Drake. So I've got a couple of ideas for you. Say you're coming up with your own idea for your writing in English. We don't know what Minty and Jamie are going back to for their teacher to say. So here's a few ideas, just in case you're thinking, I really don't know what to do, Mrs. Oliver. So I thought you could maybe write a message in a bottle. Now, this would be thinking about pirates, and if you were on an island, you might write a message and put it in the bottle, and it would float across the sea to hopefully another land where somebody could find it and rescue you. But I was thinking you could do the same sort of thing by putting a message, maybe in a space capsule, sending it off into space and seeing if an alien responds to your message. You could maybe, as your English, describe a rocket takeoff. Maybe from inside the rocket, or maybe from watching the rocket take off. And there's loads of clips on YouTube of that. Or maybe you could think, maybe you're doing a diary entry from the ISS. So maybe you could think about being Jamie's dad. We've seen it from Jamie's point of view, but we haven't really seen it from Jamie's dad's point of view. What would a day in the life of his dad be on the International Space Station? So there's 3 ideas. If you haven't got your own, that's fine. So you're going to make up your TLP. So your TLP might be, can I write a message in a bottle message to an alien? Can I describe a rocket takeoff? Can I write a diary entry from the ISS? You can use one of those ideas or come up with your own, and I'll show you some ideas for one of those. So I think I'm going to choose as my space writing challenge, the message in the bottle. So I'm going to write a message that I'm going to put into, not a bottle, but into a space capsule that will go out to space and hopefully see if an alien finds it and writes back. So what am I going to write? So I'm going to write, dear friend, because I want them to know that this is a friendly letter. So I'm going to write, dear friend, and I'm going to make up a character. So I'm going to say, my name is Olivia, because I think you're going to have to introduce yourself. I'm going to choose Olivia. My name is Olivia, and I'm 10 years old. And then I think you probably need to tell your alien where you live. So remember, we're writing in the first, this I'm writing in the first person. So I live on the planet Earth. I live on the planet Earth. And I might ask a question. I'm going to say, I wonder if you've... All right, so I'm going to use an apostrophe there. So I've got you. It's short for you have. So I've put my apostrophe there. So I wonder if you've heard of it. That's a question, so I'm going to put a question mark. So then I'm probably going to tell the alien something about the planet Earth and probably ask some questions about where the alien's from, and then probably give my address so that the alien hopefully can write back to me. So that's one idea. That's the message in the bottle idea. But you're going to set your own English task. So you're setting your TLP today. So your TLP might be, can you write a message to an alien? Your TLP might be, can you describe a rocket takeoff? Your TLP might be, can you write a diary entry from Jamie's dad? You're choosing today. You're being Mrs. Solomon from the book and choosing what today's English Space Challenge writing is. I look forward to seeing all your different results later on.